Hello everybody and welcome to this little garden update for October. Here we are, starting here. These haven't changed much. These are very slow at the moment, I reckon, as they filled up the pots. The spirea's got a few red leaves on it, looking really nice. The ivy on the table, that has got a nice red sort of colour and it looks really good. This sedums have done. The hydrangea sent out one flower, a new one. It's kind of a white colour because it's so late. The new changes, the decking step has been built and it's looking great. My dad helped me, it looks fantastic. There's the decking again, all looking wonderful. Over here on this side, I've done this work with the garden. I buried some boards in there, you can see where they came up to. Little bit awkward, but that will fill in gradually. I'll fix that. But over here, this is where I've got all my potted plants now, on the actual garden where the weeds used to live and the one or two flowers I had. There's now home to all of this. So there's lots of maples in there. And yes, I've got a lot of tanuki plants as well, which are basically a young tree like a maple or something inside a stump or inside an old piece of wood like there to make it look older than what it is, which is a nice effect. But they have to still be kept for quite a few years until they look more genuine. Yes, I've got a few other trees. You might recognize these hazel, well, not hazels, can't remember what these are called, but I had those about 6 months ago in one of my earlier videos. Here is what have I got here? I've got there's an acer here and a few others. This one, a dissectum, I think, is turning red on some of the leaves, and that one at the back's looking really nice. Yes, this is a field maple air layering I took. I prepared this back in May and then collected it in August, and in a couple of months I've had it, it started growing, pushing out new leaves, so that's looking really good. Yes, I counted the rings on it and I got to about 30, so it's about 30 years old, which was a surprise. So it's a very slow growing tree. All of these down here are spireas, which are, they've got nice autumn colour on, especially this one. And I think there was one down there near the front, you can see there's a little bit of red. That's the spirea as well, really red. Unusual because they're all from the same tree, all from my old spirea in the corner. I've got a Buddleia tanuki here growing on this old plant, and this is my dad's maple. It doesn't look very happy. I have trimmed it and chopped it down a bit to try and save it, take the pressure off of it, but it really doesn't look too happy, so I've just got it over here until it picks up. This is another field maple. The bendy one at the back is where all the leaves are coming out. I don't know how old this one is. I'm reckoning about 10 to 12 years. A little bit less than that one, which is about 30 years, 31 years. And that's it. This is all additional space that I now have for even more stuff. Over here, I got this big old air layering here. I don't know if it'll survive or not, gotta wait and see. And some more tanuki plants. All the hebes over this side, they're all looking good, although they do need to be potted up again. They've started flowering already. These are going to be pushing out flowers soon. They always do a winter flush or a late autumn flush. These are more maples, which I don't know what to do with. I collected so many seeds. I only expected about 5 or 6 to take, and I got about 30 odd. There's the white buddleia out the front. I had to prune it, and I'm just going to bury all of that material. I'm going to just dig where the runner beans are and bury all of that in there. And yes, it's collecting the mature beans season. so I can plant those for next year. In the greenhouse, I've just got all the dead stuff, or the stuff I'm not really interested in, on the top shelf. Apart from this box, I've got a few cuttings from the apple tree. That one there is pushing out some leaves in amongst the weeds. The weeds are loving it in here. Most of this stuff is weeds or spare plants. I've got some epiphyllums, which are, I'm going to need to give them away, or, you know, I think I've got one person who wants, but yes, I'll figure out what to do. These are all the giants cuttings that they just look dead, even though I had them sitting in damp soil and in water like this. That's supposed to increase the odds of them taking. I mean, there's a few leaves on one or two of them, but they sort of grow leaves and then they let go. So I did get that one that's in the garden now. I've put it outside, and I got loads of, I got some little acer cuttings in here in this one, and there's one acer cutting in that pot there, which has been there for about 6 months, and it's still not died. These are all from late July in this big pot, and that one was from April. So there might be something going on there. These collection of logs I got here look quite good. There's a leaf in one or two of them. I'm not getting my hopes up though, because they might all just suddenly let go when things warm up, but you never know. Here's the stinging nettles that I take leaves from every time I want to boil myself a nettle tea. Always always got used to that taste now. Here's all my Buddleia tanukis, and yes, not much in the aviary, just like some deceased plants or peppers. Now I might move all these peppers into the greenhouse where it's a bit warmer before we get any frosts, and that way they should survive. Some of them will survive, like those in the big pots. Those actually survived in the greenhouse over last winter, so I might just put them back and see what we get. Wow, look at this. Mushrooms growing around the tanuki, the old tanuki wood. There we go. Very nice. I'm wondering if there's any more of those. One or two over here. Oh, and in there is the dead wood, I think. It's feeding the microbiome. These Buddleia, this Buddleia did well this year. It's up to there. Yeah, I've got that one over there I need to sort out. And yes, I didn't do a very long video update last month because I had a splitting headache for it and I never got over it that day. So I thought, well, I'd make up for it a bit this month. Yes. However, that's really it. I did actually have in that space, you might be wondering, I did have my plant from the garden. Which one? Well, it's the field maple. I did put this one in there because I didn't want it to, you know, die or anything. But then I found out the hard way that the more you fuss them, the more likely they will die. So it's sort of like patience. You have to be very patient with them. This one I did have in the greenhouse, but I've brought it out because we haven't got frost yet. And, you know, I'll just leave it to nature. I mean, these trees are very tough anyway. Same with all of these. You just have to be really patient. Pretty much now have to wait until next spring. And then just see which ones make it. They should just come back as normal. It'll be interesting to see if that one makes it. It just does not look very happy. This is the sycamore. And yeah, it just looks really, really sad. You can see where that's died because of where I cut it a few years ago. But I don't know. It should be fine. Anyway, that's it for another month, and see you next time.